It's so good. Everything about this is good.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh my god.
Hello.
Wow.
Welcome to the second episode of our podcast.
Yeah, you didn't think we'd do it twice.
You didn't think we would, but we did.
Look at us.
Look at us go. 2 weeks in a row.
Who'd have guessed?
Not me. Well, maybe me. Not you, I should say.
Funny Paul Rudd reference.
Oh, yeah.
When he was on Hot Ones.
He's on the...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's on Hot Ones. He's like, we made it this far. Who'd have guessed? Not me.
Not me.
Because he's bad with spices. So am I. But, you know.
Would you ever go on Hot Ones?
Yeah, I love chicken. Love buffalo chicken. Love. I would be honored to be on Hot Ones.
I feel like...
They had fucking Puss in Boots on that.
Yeah, what was with that? I don't know if I would, like, physically be able to. Like, I feel like I would get to, like, the third or fourth one and it would just be, like, too much. But I feel like that would make good content for, like, the Hot Ones because I feel like people always love when people are, like, dying of, like,
yeah,
spice.
I'd want to make a fool of myself on it. Like, I'm talking, like, the last one, I'd be like, the asshole put way too much on it.
Oh my god.
And they're like, dude, you shouldn't do that. And then they have to, like, get, like, the fucking medical team behind the camera to come
when
out.
people touch their eyes on accident.
Oh my god.
And they're like, no.
Yeah.
Because I would do that.
I really liked, who the
that.
fuck played the Riddler?
Paul Dano.
I love Paul Dano's.
Paul Dano.
I love Paul Dano's Hot
Paul
Ones.
Dano.
I thought it was really funny because he brought,
Yeah.
like, a fucking headband.
Yeah, no, he went all
He's a
out.
funny guy.
Yeah.
So,
They have vegetarian or like vegan chicken.
oh, vegan
you
chicken
know?
for the people that don't eat
Yeah, which I
actual
think is
meat.
cool.
Which, yeah, because it's inclusivity. Spices and sauces is really more what's on display. It's not so much like the chicken quality. It's more like the sauce. Like, they're always talking about, like, the sauces. That's, like, the main thing.
I just don't do well with spicy stuff. Like, I would need to have like a whole bucket of ranch next to me, and I feel like that defeats the point. Like, I feel like they don't let you do that, right? Or do they have ranch?
They have milk.
That is not like ranch. Like
Ranch isn't derivative of milk, though.
Well, it's like kind of the same, but like it's a different experience.
Yeah, but like they give you milk.
I don't want
It's
milk.
Hot Ones. They
Is
give
it
you
oat
milk.
Oh, I bet they would have oat milk if they
water.
have vegan chicken.
And that's pretty much it. Yeah, you're kind of SOL. That's like the whole point of Hot Ones.
What does that mean?
Shit out of luck.
Really? That's funny.
Yeah, you never knew what SOL meant?
No, I've never heard that before.
Oh my god, my parents always use that expression around me.
Your parents do love a good, like, acronym.
Yeah, my parents love acronyms. They're always using
I've
acronyms.
learned a couple of them going to your house.
What's some of the acronyms you learned?
AIS.
Ass in car.
What?
AIS. Oh, ass in seat. Sorry, yeah. Ass in seat. Because if they say AIS 15 minutes, if your ass is not in the seat, they're leaving without you. And they didn't make that up either. That comes from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Well, I never watched that.
Yeah. No, I know you didn't. That's why I explained it. Because it's like, it's not even that popular in the show. They just saw an episode and they said that term. And they really like that term. You can't AIS your wife. And he, like, ditched his wife. He was like, AIS 15 minutes, and she wasn't there. So then 15 minutes later, he ditched his wife. And that was the whole episode plot.
Wait, I don't know the difference between...
Did you ever see Ice Age?
Yes, I've seen Ice Age.
You remember the woolly mammal?
Yeah.
That voice actor is Ray. He's Raymond.
Ray Romano?
Yeah.
Wait, so Ray Romano is Raymond?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's another guy that I also get confused.
Oh, the cop? His brother? Probably.
I don't know. Does Ray Romano have a brother?
In the show, he does. I don't know about in real life. I really don't know Ray Romano's life too well. I did grow up on that show, though. That was like one of those sitcoms that was just always playing.
I never watched that. I feel like I grew up. I was more of like a middle. Like I watched the middle.
The middle didn't come out till the Modern Family came out like 2010. Come on, I'm talking about growing up.
Like Full House, I guess.
Okay, that makes
I don't know.
sense.
I didn't like. The thing is, I didn't like.
On a snow day, you didn't like
grow
watch
up.
TV with your parents.
I would just watch. Like I would just literally put on Disney Channel.
Okay, yeah, I mean I would do that too, but my parents couldn't tolerate like kids.
See, my parents love that shit. Like I feel
Really?
Like, yeah, my dad. Like we still like do the humor from the shows. Like
That's
there's like
crazy.
jokes,
That makes so
like,
much sense.
From like Wizards of Waverly Place, like Charlie, Good Luck Charlie, that like me and my dad like still will like joke about.
That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. See, my
Like
family
iCarly,
is not.
my dad loved iCarly.
My family like appreciates kids when they're like really really little, but then it's from like there until you're like an adult. It's just like this awkward phase where they don't like give a shit. Like They're talking like you're talking like you want to watch cartoons? Nah, go do that on your own. You want to watch an action show? Go do that on your own.
I feel like my parents wouldn't want to watch like SpongeBob or like stuff
oh,
like that.
My mom
that's, like,
couldn't handle
that, like,
SpongeBob. She
towards
hated this
more,
voice.
Well, SpongeBob is Nickelodeon, but like Cartoon Network, my parents would definitely not.
Oh god,
love.
no shit. Like my mom liked Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Yeah.
And like some of like the like actually like really good cartoons, but like Adventure Time, just like the color palette makes my parents like leave the room. And then I guess they listen. It's the different age. Yeah. But anyway, so that's why like the humor. I always would watch like their shows when it was all of us watching TV.
So we'd watch like Married with
Children, 2.5 Men.
Did you ever watch How I Met Your Mother?
No, not really. They didn't like the Big Bang Theory and shit like that. Like Seinfeld. Seinfeld was a big part of our family.
I watched a lot of Seinfeld too, growing up. Like the reruns of it, like on TV.
Yes, yeah, me too. I was raised on that.
I feel like very much a half and half. I liked Friends more, but I feel like my parents liked Seinfeld more. But like they would enjoy watching both, so it was more just like whichever one was on TV.
Yeah,
like a 50-50 split.
Yeah, my family was all Seinfeld for sure, and like a bunch of other sitcoms. But
yeah, did you ever watch the Food Network?
Not really. My mom was more like a Lifetime, Hallmark.
Yeah.
Than like the Food Network.
Did your mom watch like HGTV?
We'd watch shit like
TLC.
Wife Swap.
Wife Swap is such a classic.
We'd watch shit like that type of channel.
My mom would not watch that with me. Well, maybe she would, but like.
Yeah, she would. My mom would literally watch that and do with me, and she'd be, "You wouldn't want a different mom." And I'd be like, you're right.
I don't know if you remember this, literally last year, my old roommate was like obsessed with Wife Swap. Mm-hmm. And I don't think she'd ever seen it before, and we watched an episode of it like randomly, and then she like was binge watching Wife Swap, and it was so funny because it was like always in the background of like, it was like playing in our living room, and like just hearing like the two, like they just find like the two, like obviously that's the plot, but they find like the most insane like different people to swap, and it's always like ridiculous. Yeah. But it makes for a good TV show. Yeah. Most of the time. But I feel like I got serious problems with reality TV. Yeah.
But that's like, as I've gotten older, I've realized I've had problems with it. It's not like as a kid I'd be like,
you didn't watch Four Weddings, did you?
No.
I didn't. Say Yes to the Dress is always a classic, but my issue with it is that they never pick a good dress. Like it's almost like they're like set up to sale. What am I trying to say? Set up to fail. Yeah. Yeah, because their dresses are literally always ugly. Like, the choice, I don't know. Like, I would be, like, so upset if I was on that show because I would not say yes to any of the dresses. Yeah.
It's funny that we're talking so much about TV because the movies we watched this week are fucking trash.
Oh, a little transition there.
Thanks.
You didn't want to talk about the property.
I didn't want to talk about reality TV anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
no, that's exactly what it was.
As we usually do on this podcast,
we talk about our
movies that we watched this week, and I'm going to let you do the honors.
All right, thank you. So last week, the most recent movie we ended with the podcast was Shrek Forever After. So this week, we started with Hellboy, one of my favorites, Marley and Me, James Franco's The Interview, Crazy Stupid Love, The Burbs, and some TV shows, but we'll talk about that later.
Also, I love that you call it James Franco's The Interview.
Well, there are other films titled Interview, and like
but you wouldn't say it's like Seth Rogen's The Interview. You would say James Franco's thing. Like,
I mean, I know
James Franco didn't even direct it.
I thought James Franco was part of it, but instead it's Seth Rogen.
Go to writers. No, James Franco just produced it.
He might have also written it though.
Anyways. So which
No, Seth Rogen also wrote it.
Yeah.
First, I want to talk about Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy, the original 2004 film. This shit slapped. I mean, obviously not as good as the graphic novel, but that's really
coming from. You have to say like you're.
I'm a nerd, so I know the source material.
I didn't say it. You know the source material.
But
to me, this was all.
I do think Ron Perlman is the best casting. Like
for
Hellboy, he does a great performance, and just like his demeanor, everything is great. The physical, the real costumes instead of CGI and shit.
I loved the use of practical effects.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro is the king of practical. This is honestly probably the best film we watched this week.
I think it's interesting because I'm just starting to watch a lot of Guillermo del Toro's work. Like recently, we watched Shape of Water.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm interested to see more of what he does because
you're gonna love Pan's Labyrinth.
I haven't seen Pan's Labyrinth.
I know it's on my list, and you're gonna love it.
Yeah,
you're actually gonna like that one a lot.
And like I just really haven't seen a lot of his work, so I'm like interested.
I haven't
to
seen
see
Nightmare
more.
Alley. That's one that I've really wanted to watch.
New? Oh,
yeah,
no.
it came out last 2 years ago.
Yeah, like
and also I did not know he directed Blade 2.
Blade 2.
You know Blade from the Marvel comics?
Sure. But yeah, I like the theme of the inclusion of fish men in this movie.
Well, this is the original Fishman.
He's the original.
He made The Shape of Water almost as more of a love story for this Fishman. I feel like
that's really interesting.
That's how I interpreted Shape of Water at least.
That's funny.
Because I knew this Fishman initially. It's the same.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It's the same actor.
I think one of my. Oh, it is.
It's the same Fishman. He's also cool. In Pan's Labyrinth, not as a Fishman. But anyway.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was it was definitely like a Marvel. Is it a Marvel guy?
It's actually not Marvel or DC.
No.
It's not DC either.
Oh, what is it?
It's
a secret third thing.
A secret third thing, otherwise known as independent publishers. It's Hellboy is like his own universe graphic novel. Kind of think like sort of like Watchmen. You know how that's like its own thing?
Sure.
Except even Watchmen was like sold to DC, so they have the rights for that.
Got it.
Hellboy, I don't think really anyone has the I'm sure someone has the rights to this show right now because they did do a remake. But anyway, yeah, it's its own universe. It's not Spider-Man or anything. I like it because it has some really great art. But honestly, I mistook this movie for the second one.
Oh, the classic.
The Guillermo del Toro was going to do a trilogy of Hellboys.
Oh, there's only 2 of them.
There's only 2 of them, exactly. They didn't make the third one, which kind of sucks because like both movies build up to it.
Damn, yeah, you hate when that happens.
But the second one, I think, has even better costumes. At least there's like one really memorable.
And I'm seeing he's got like a Matrix ass coat on.
Yeah, this movie's pretty great. Although it's there's like one scene in particular that I think of when I think of this movie, and then the rest of the movie's a blur.
Well, maybe we should watch it.
It's good. It's a good one. But anyway, I was just saying the first movie kind of was like like these 2 movies should blur together.
Yeah,
to me.
No, that happens to me a lot. I feel
fun
like
movie.
Movies.
There's not really much deeper themes in it. Although surprisingly, the dad from Arrested Development was on this.
What?
Did you see that? Remember?
Oh yeah, that really threw me off.
What the?
I can't. Yeah, that's him.
That's him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was
weird to
that was
see him
surprising.
in anything that's not Arrested Development. If I'm being completely honest, I can't
take
that man
I always think he's like it's like
the
Chevy
head of
Chase. Wait, no, it's not Chevy Chase.
It's the
guy
discount Chevy Chase.
But I like him more than Chevy Chase.
Yeah, but aren't they like both like not?
Yeah, they're both. I've heard they're both like assholes to work with.
Chevy Chase like.
Chevy Chase, I think, is like
only one of them got fired.
Yeah, like a diva. He's like a green M&M's only type person. Come on, that's a topical reference. Yeah. Next movie on our list to get back on track is Marley and Me.
The classic 2008 film Marley and Me, starring Owen Wilson, Jennifer Aniston, and Cal Jacobs from Euphoria.
Eric Dan.
Which was an insane jump scare.
Yeah.
And he even makes a fun little joke about being potty trained, which I thought was like a really fun Euphoria reference.
And it also has Alan Arkin as the voice of Marley.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, it's like the dog doesn't have a voice.
Hello, it is me, Mari. I am in heaven now.
Oh, that was a fun reference.
You either get it or you don't.
A lot of people are gonna get it because that is a TikTok sound.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you love when like stuff like that happens when it's like well, I don't know how niche Nathan for you is.
Nathan Fielder is like still semi niche, I would say.
Yeah. Let's talk about Marley and Me though.
Yeah, I have some thoughts. Can I say?
Sure. I'll let you go first. Wait, we should preference this by saying like only one of us is dog person. And I'm not even really a full dog person. I'm definitely more of a cat person, but only one of us is even like tolerable of dogs. Okay, and now for Ryder's review.
I'm just a cat person. I kind of fucking hate movies where it's like, oh man, look at how quirky our dog is. Like before
Okay.
the dog's introduced, I thought it was a fine movie, and then it's like oh, a fun rom-com about this couple who doesn't want to have kids, and then it's like they introduce this dog, and I fucking hate the dog because I hate dogs with a burning passion.
Here's my take on it. I love this movie because it hits all the marks for me of like a cute family rom-com, and I love like a pet movie. I do think, like, every time that I watch this movie, which is, like, not a lot, but definitely more than the average person, I would say, I'm always, like, really excited to watch it, and then, like, yeah, once the dog is introduced, I'm like, damn, that dog is really annoying.
Yeah, it literally makes them so every babysitter won't babysit for them because the dog is such an
The poor babysitter
asshole.
is, like, literally
And
tortured by this dog. But at the end of the day, like, do you not, like you feel something.
Even the dog trainer gave up on it.
Yeah, although that's
when I
would
would
have
give up on
shitty
it.
dog trainer.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll be honest.
I would have gave up on it too, though.
I felt like
the
to
dumpster
me,
baby.
like the dog didn't have many. When the dog, I feel like for me, it's when he knocks over the baby. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, when he like just fucking barrels through that kid. See,
Yeah.
I was that kid as a child. I was that child getting barreled over by dogs.
But at the end of the movie, it's like they all are gonna miss their dog, their childhood dog.
I don't
Because,
know why they're gonna miss
spoiler, should we say what happens at the end?
No, people know.
People, you know what happens at the
You
end.
know what happens at the end? Catherine was really hit by it, even though she knew it was going to happen.
I mean, how could you?
I kind of unfortunately look like an asshole because I was kind of laughing at how hard she got hit by it. So it made it seem like I was laughing at the movie when I wasn't.
You were just laughing at me.
I was just laughing at you crying.
Having emotions.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm like actually getting kind of sad thinking about it.
The next. Oh, you want to talk about it more?
Yeah, I think I'm done with the subject, but I will say the dog actor that played Marley was acting. Like he was acting. And I just want to give him his props.
Yeah, I mean, if his performance was to be an annoying little shit dog, then
That's
yeah.
what it was. That's like literally all he had to do, and he like killed it.
Then he killed it. Yeah, he did a great job. Next up, we have The Interview, directed by Seth Rogen.
You're over talking about Marley and Me.
I'm over talking
Okay.
about Marley and Me. If you want to keep talking about it, we can talk more about the last scene.
No, I don't have anything else to say.
Okay. Thought it was a good analogy for aging.
Yeah. You really, yeah.
There. That's the whole movie.
Dogs are a man's best friend. Moving on.
Fucking hate dogs.
Okay, moving on.
So The Interview by Seth Rogen. What did you think?
Considering the fact that we like actually both forgot that we watched this the day after we watched it.
Oh my! I kept forgetting we watched it. Like literally, you reminded me like twice, three times maybe.
The thing that's crazy to me about that is that like when this movie came out, I remember so many people were going crazy talking about it.
Oh yeah, people thought it was going to start World War III. I remember like North Korea threatened to like nuke.
And nobody knew. I don't know about like maybe I'm just stupid, but I didn't know if it was like they were like hyping it up for like the ad of their movie or like their movie.
No,
like,
it was like a real
just, like,
thing. It was
really
like,
messed some stuff
well,
up.
because like they released a trailer and somehow North Korea found out, and then they were like, "Hey, don't release that."
Yeah, but they did, and it's actually kind of like to me it is crazy that this movie was made because like you don't see many movies like nowadays that are like making fun of world leaders
so directly
and so
while they're alive.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like people that
like there's a lot of movies that make fun of like
power.
Hitler now, like Jojo Rabbit,
Yeah.
or like that one about Stalin. You know, like
Yeah.
there's some funny movies about those people, but then there's also like it's like they're dead. You know, who's gonna be upset about that? So it's like kind of a bit weird, but also this movie just isn't like problematic. Like they don't even really smoke weed in it. They talk about it at one point.
I feel like smoking weed is like not the problematic part of this movie.
I know, but like usually like
It's
old
more like
the
just
old
like
Seth
them
Rogen
making
movies
fun of.
was what got him in controversy in the first place in the 90s.
Yeah,
like,
but
"You're
that was just
glorifying
like
drugs."
people. That was just like.
I know, but I'm just saying from that sort of energy going into this, it's like they had a joke about that he liked Katy Perry and
Yeah.
margaritas.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it just kind of was a forgettable movie. It didn't have that many bits that were funny per se or memorable.
I don't know if Katy Perry like
She definitely liked
paid money to like have
She
this
didn't pay money. She got
song like
She got
put
fucking
so
bank.
much in this movie because
the cover of it. Of course, she got bank.
Yeah, not only do they play like the original Firework by Katy Perry, but they also play like a slow.
They sing it like 3 times.
More than 3 at least. Like it's all over that movie. Like Seth Rogen must have like really loved that song.
No, I think the thing was that song was popular in 2009, 2008.
And then
this
like
came out 2014. It was just him being like, "Listen, I like dorky shit."
Yeah, it was just almost a little bit too much. Katy Perry.
Yeah, it was too much Katy Perry, and like the whole. I liked the characters. I felt like they did great. Like the James Franco being this asshole like paparazzi interview guy.
James Franco was fine in it.
Yeah, I thought
Seth Rogen was good at being Seth Rogen.
Yeah, Seth Rogen still. You know.
I thought like
Randall Park actually I thought killed it, and this was one of his like earlier like large attention movies. I felt like, because he's in a lot of things.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know how I felt about it.
Yeah, I thought it was a fine movie. It's a fine movie that'll give you a fine amount of laughs. Very mid.
You might laugh a couple times. You might cringe a bunch of times.
You'll probably cringe more than you'll laugh.
But if you like James Franco and you like
Seth Rogen, I don't know. Yeah,
you've probably already seen this movie.
You probably have. It's the one that you haven't seen if you haven't. You know what I mean? It's like you just watch it to say you've seen it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Next up is the movie I actually really want to talk about because it's on your list, and it's like I thought it could be fun. Like I'm like looking at this poster, like okay, you know what? I liked 40-Year-Old Virgin. I love Steve Carell. Crazy Stupid Love looks fun, and
so mind you, like we were having a really hard time picking a movie this night. We were going through every movie on my list, like looking for movies, and all of the ones that like you picked out, first of all, were not streaming.
Yeah.
Which was just, it's a really horrible experience.
That's the worst.
When you pay for like, well, shout out to my dad, but like when, you know, you have all of the streaming services, you pay for them or you know, are logged into them and you want to watch a movie and it's not streaming. That's like a really horrible feeling. And it's really horrible when it was like 10 movies in a row that you want to watch that are not streaming because you kind of run out of steam. But we found Crazy Stupid Love and we thought, you know what, let's give it a try.
I just knew it was on your list and I wanted to get a movie off your list so I could continue the cycle of going to the next list. And I was like, fuck it. This movie I know is on your list. We're going to watch it. It's on a streaming service that we have. We'll just do it.
Yeah.
And oh my God, we couldn't even make it through. We got 20 minutes in. This movie was so bad because it's one of those movies that's like Hitched. Where it's just about like the alpha male teaching like the nerdy dude how to be a cool guy and get women. Horrible. I hate these kinds of movies because I feel like they instill bad messages, and I feel like if you find them funny, it's not. It like says a lot more about you than it does the film. Of course, it's written by a guy because it's what a guy assumes women thinks. Let me do that line again. Of course, it's written by a guy because it's basically what a guy assumes a woman wants in a man. And it is probably some of the cringiest, worst shit. Like, I felt so bad for Steve Carell in this movie.
Yeah, in the beginning that we watched of it.
Again, we only watched 20 minutes. Cause...
I didn't want to say, like, we don't know how it ends.
Well,
but
yeah.
I feel like you can kind of gather what's going to happen.
I would assume... The setup.
Should we guess the ending?
Yeah, you want to guess the ending? Let's do
Yeah.
that. I feel like my prediction of the ending is that Steve Carell eventually beats Ryan Gosling at his own game, becoming the cool guy, and then Ryan Gosling sort of like has to like realize that being a cool guy isn't all that it's cracked up to be or whatever, and sort of then they both become like an authentic version of themselves.
Yeah.
That's like how I would hope it would go.
I was going to say, I feel like Ryan Gosling might end up with Emma Stone at the end because he like
he learns to be nerdy.
He like uncoolifies himself and becomes like less of like a douchebag. But I don't know if Steve Carell is going to end up with his wife that wants a divorce. or I don't know if he should, because
I don't even think he
she
would.
cheated on him.
Yeah, his wife fully at the beginning of the movie. I think he ends up with Emma Stone.
You think Steve Carell ends up with Emma Stone?
Like,
how did we not get that?
I think that would be more of what happens.
Can you keep talking while I look up the Wikipedia?
Oh, you're gonna read the rest of this movie because now you're interested?
Yeah.
I couldn't even stand this movie. I just hate like movies with these messages. Like, I know it probably wasn't the theme of the film, but just like bearing witness to it was so cringeworthy.
It was really scary to watch Ryan Gosling like in it.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling. Keep in mind the guy from Drive. The fucking Ryan Gosling incel inspirer himself, giving the alpha omega cool guy like beta Chad tips. It felt really rough. I'd classify this movie as an Andrew Tate film. I mean, maybe it's funnier. I don't know. We again couldn't get the whole way through. I didn't even know Kevin Bacon was in it. Like it's
Who the fuck?
Just based on the opening of the film and the direction of it and the whole vibes of it, it didn't feel like one that was promoting nerdiness. That's sort of what I'm hoping the ending is like, based on my prediction as a human.
It does look like, from the Wikipedia that I'm reading, it looks like Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone do end up together.
Because he learns to be nerdier, I'm assuming, basically.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, and that seems like fine if you could make it the whole way through, but I don't think I could.
Sorry, I'm reading the Wikipedia and it just has character names.
Wait, so
Cal and Emily have a laugh talking about the events that... Okay, so it does look like Steve Carell kind of reignites his love for his wife, and Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone do end up together, and
it's a classic
something
Hitch.
that happens with the babysitter and the boy.
It's a classic Hitch movie. If you ever seen the
we didn't
the
even
movie
watch long enough for Joey King to show up.
I know. That's why I said I didn't even realize Kevin Bacon was in there.
Kevin Bacon?
I know. It's fine.
Where? I didn't see him. I did love that Josh Groban was in it though.
It's
I
just
guess, fuck Josh
I
Groban.
hate movies with this message of like, be a little bit cooler and people might like you. It's like, honestly, I think if you don't like someone, you shouldn't be with them. That's kind of how I feel about relationships. And so like movies like that are like, oh well, if you just learn how to be cooler or learn how to be a little bit more of a nerd, you can be happy. It just I feel like
that even shit. Like we haven't seen the end of the movie, but I'm assuming that they like try to balance it out.
Assuming
by,
they try to make the movie
Ryan
watchable.
Gosling learn a little bit from like Steve Carell.
Yeah, like assuming otherwise, if the movie doesn't do that, how it wouldn't be digestible. It'd just be watching an Andrew Tate YouTube video.
Yeah. The shopping montage that we watched was really scary.
Oh my god,
and
the
I was
shopping
really upset
montage.
about the dad.
He kept slapping and being like, "I'm better than the Glap. You don't want to wear mom jeans."
The Glap?
The Gap, whatever. It was a horrible movie, and I feel like 13 minutes of venting about it.
I feel like this was made before men like
could have pre-feminine.
Like it was very much like you like.
This was when people were wearing the shirts saying it's cool to wear pink because guys don't wear pink. Was like those were like daring and being like considered cool. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, this was that time period, and it's, like, obvious.
It was made in 2011.
Yeah, and so, like, coming from that time period, I'm sure it was a great movie, but looking back at it...
To quote the interview, it's 2014. Women are smart now. Wait, what did you say?
I thought you were going to say something else. I thought you were going to say if liking Katy Perry and margaritas is gay, who would want to be straight? Right. I thought you were quoting that. Like, that's like a funny quote that felt relevant to the point. I don't know what the fuck you're trying to say. 2014, women can be... We're talking about women being dumb. What?
It's 2014. Women are smart now. Because I was making a point that the other movie was made in 2011, so women weren't smart yet. That was my main.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I get that. Okay, that's funny.
It was poorly executed.
Yeah, but I get the initial there. Speaking of poorly executed movies...
What are you talking about?
The Burbs. This is that movie that you can talk to your parents about and be like, I bet you've never watched The Burbs. It's on Netflix right now. That's right. Tom Hanks is in it.
The funny thing is my dad definitely has seen this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to text my dad right now.
He probably hasn't. He probably hasn't seen The Burbs because this was in that era where it was too early in Tom Hanks's career to be like successful. Because this was like 1989. This wasn't even...
This is...
Big
Tom
came
Hanks?
out 1980. Oh, I guess this is like right after Big. Okay, so this is like right after his big breaks. I guess this was like his follow up.
He was still getting his.
He was still a rising star, but it was like
Yeah,
people knew who he was.
Good movies really came out. I would say like
the 2000s. 2000s for sure. Started with Toy Story.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump, 1994. Yeah, 90s. Even Private Ryan. That was like 97.
98.
Sorry. That like
Wait, Tom Hanks is in Cars. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So The Burbs was a movie that is basically kind of like Monster House, where it's like there's a creepy house on the block, and is it not haunted? All the neighborhood kids are trying to figure it out. Except in this instance, the neighborhood kids are middle-aged men.
And one kid.
And they did actually have a teenager with them. I really like that teenager, but it was just dudes being afraid of the neighbor. And it was Tom Hanks and a bunch of other guys. And Carrie Fisher played his wife. Fun little inclusion.
Oh my God. Sorry.
This was one of those movies that I thought was really fun. If you want to add something there, I was talking about cast, you can.
Yeah, I was looking at the cast as you were talking about that to say something. Yeah. And I was intrigued to know that the guy that played Hans, like the creepy
neighbor,
who I was gonna say gave me Children of the Corn energy,
is
Malachi from Children of the Corn.
That's crazy. They got the guy from Children of the Corn to play the guy from Children of the Corn.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That was my introduction.
No, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I felt like he felt familiar.
Yeah,
Children of the Corn.
I wish I said because I was thinking about that yesterday while we were watching.
I felt like he looked familiar. I just couldn't pinpoint from where. It's basically this creepy neighbor, and they're stalking him, and like the whole movie, you're not sure, and eventually the women are just like, well, let's just go over there and have a dinner party, and everything seems normal, right? And the movie kind of starts to trick you to be like, oh, okay, so they're the insane ones. And then they like go digging in their backyards for dead bodies.
Yeah,
and
basically Tom Hanks and his friends are like terrorizing
their neighbors.
These neighbors.
Because they're like, it felt like a sitcom episode where like they're like afraid of like the foreign neighbors that moved in, and they don't like understand their culture.
Yeah.
And then get this, the movie like ends like there's a huge explosion. The police come and they're like, these guys just broke into our house and blew it up. Like, what the hell? We're just trying to live here. And it's like, okay, that's really funny that there wasn't a plot.
Tom Hanks does like a good speech about like how they're like they're the ones that are like bored.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. So if it was Tom Hanks fucking saves this whole goddamn movie with one like single performance at the end, right before he's all burned and charred up, and he's like, I'm going to the hospital. He picks up his goddamn own hospital stretcher, throws it in it's a great scene. It's the best scene in the whole movie at the very end.
Yeah. And
then like it feels like this movie has this great sort of punchline to the whole movie, right?
The whole plot
is like,
you're kind of going along with the guys from the Burbs.
Yeah, the guys from the Burbs. You're like, these guys are probably up to something because it's a movie.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh no, these guys were the crazy ones. All right, haha, there's no plot. Just then, oh, here's the twist. I'm gonna take your skull. And then it literally shows this shot where they open the neighbor's trunk of their car, and it is like
full of bones,
literally like 30 skeletons, like 30 heads just filled to the brim with bones. And it's like, why are they just driving around like that? They went to the police station to get the cops in their car full of bones.
No one will suspect it. It's like hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. I like wished the movie didn't have that twist. Yeah. It would have been so much higher of a review if it was like,
if the plot was like, these guys seem weird, but they're just normal guys.
Or like maybe they're not normal guys. They're weird guys. It's 3 dudes living in a house.
Yeah.
And they're like only one of them speaks like fluent English.
Yeah.
And like it's weird people, but they're not necessarily up to anything.
No. Yeah.
Like that would be totally a funny like subdirect, you know?
Yeah.
Or misdirect, sorry.
Yeah, because Tom Hanks quite literally hits the gas line and blows up their entire house. Like, imagine you're just like trying to like live your life.
These
and
guys
your
break
neighbor,
into your house.
You
and
go
dig
away
through your
for like
floor.
one day, and your neighbor has digging through your basement floor into the gas line and completely blown up your entire house.
It's like it feels like this whole great buildup is then just undermined because
then they actually are bad, and it's like, okay, well,
and it's just like cartoonishly evil. Like they don't really have any motives other than like
they don't like.
We don't trust that you don't believe Lost to be good.
So they killed the people that originally lived in their house.
Yeah, like they killed the original owners of the house because they wanted the house, and then like he blew up the house and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fix it for you. I'm so sorry." And he's like, "You think we're stupid? We know that we killed the people that lived in that house." And he's like, "What? No, I don't." And then
we should also say the thing that like set off the plot of this movie is that like they think that like these guys took their neighbor, and it turns out their neighbor like was just in the hospital.
Oh yeah, like I guess like that's like the
plot.
That's like one of the bigger parts of the plot that like they're kind of like, oh, the neighbor's gone missing.
So like they didn't even kill the neighbor.
Yeah, he's not.
But
he's
like
fine.
they killed other people. Like who are the skeletons in their car?
Again, that's part of the. I would be fine if they like were murderers or whatever, but like then like they don't do that twist.
Yeah,
I'd be fine with that if it wasn't like just this like cartoonishly evil.
Yeah.
Like if they were just like had a cremation furnace in their basement and then were like.
It was kind of a camp movie.
Maybe they were grave robbers, you know, and like legitimately had a business selling dead people's old clothes or whatever.
Yeah, but we never get to see it.
Yeah. Instead, they just do this twist of like, oh yeah, they are evil.
Yeah.
Kind of lame.
Yeah.
I thought the movie was fun. An old weird Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah. Can't really complain too much about like an old weird Tom Hanks movie. I feel like.
From the 80s. I thought like a lot of the fun.
You know what you're getting yourself into.
A lot of the fun was like
poster.
how like surreal it felt. It's very much like Edward Scissorhands vibes in terms of like just how like the burbs feels and like the weirdness of it all. But
I also felt like it could have been more.
Yeah, I felt like it could have been more, or it should have stayed less. It did a weird in between. Like I wish that it was like it would have been funny if the lesson was some people are weird. And like sometimes people just do weird shit.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. I don't know. And anyway, in terms of TV shows this week, I just want to quickly plug one that's I've heard about and I've only just now started watching. It is so goddamn funny. Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. So good. It's if you just search Dark Place, I'm sure it'll come up. I don't really want to spoil anything, but it's like a spoof parody of 80s horror and soap operas.
Yeah.
Fucking hysterical.
Pretty funny. How many episodes have we watched?
We watched one episode, and I'm willing to say it's my favorite show.
Yeah. Wow. Favorite show?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's only one season long.
High praise.
Very high praise. It's just, I love this type of humor where it's doing it so perfect that you can't tell it's a joke.
Yeah. Well, what?
Like, it's just doing that, like, style of, like, shitty movie so done well that you have to know it's, like, on purposefully done shitty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, like, it's perfect. The awkward pauses, like, everything just makes me laugh in it. It's so funny to me.
Yeah.
There's also that other show we've been watching.
We're in the search for a new comedy TV show.
Yeah.
Because we finished our show that we've been watching, Curb Your Enthusiasm. We finished watching it. Yeah. And this is devastating because we love to have a show on, you know, while we're eating or while we're doing anything.
It's nice to pop the old show on.
So, you know, with no Larry David left, we are searching for something new.
Yeah. I still think Community could fill that role pretty well, but Curb is a very distinct type of humor.
Yeah. We did it though.
But yeah, I mean, there's still like some of the earlier seasons.
We didn't watch the first 3
I watched
seasons, a little bit of one of them, I think.
Yeah, but like we definitely watched like the 4th season onward, like all of every episode.
Yeah, we watched all the good episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, my dad has not seen The Burbs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No one go watch The Burbs if you haven't seen it, because it's the Tom Hanks movie you've probably never heard of. It's not that good, but it has some funny moments, I think, and it's a fun watch.
Yeah,
can't really complain.
I feel like we've been like, it's been one of those weeks where like every movie that we watch, it's been like too late to like want to like sit down and watch something that's gonna take like a lot of brain power. So it's like, let's throw on something funny.
Yeah, well, I've just been doing a lot of night shifts recently at my part-time job.
You've been working late. We've been up late. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's been going on?
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel like there hasn't been anything like... honestly, I think the thing, the highest recommendation this week is Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Yeah.
Go watch that. It's on Pluto TV with ads for free. Don't
recommend Pluto TV.
Yeah, Pluto TV sucks, but it's streaming on there for free, and it's really funny. It's a season long. That's my recommendation this week.
All right. My recommendation this week is Gilmore Girls.
What season?
I'm currently on season 6, guys.
Season 6?
Out of 7. I'm getting a little nervy.
Ooh, what are you gonna do when you finish that?
Once I finish Gilmore Girls, I'm gonna be at a real loss, because then, I mean, hopefully by then we'll have found like a different funny show to watch, like while we're eating and stuff. But I'm gonna need like another new show to watch, like while you're at work. I can recommend you
some like good 1-season shows.
No. Like, I mean, yes, do recommend me, but I also need I need seasons,
Yeah, you need the Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
You need The Office. Yeah. You need something to maybe 30 Rock.
30 Rock might be my show, because
I've already watched it, and it's a good one. It's a really, really good one.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Anyways.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
Thank you for tuning in.
Checking back in.
Seeing what we're up to. Check us out next week.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get these uploaded at some point, because again, just to date it, just so you know that we know, today is the Super Bowl Sunday.
It's February 2023, baby.
February 12th
2023.
So whenever this goes
whenever
live,
this is up, it'll be up.
My guess is probably going to be
March. No, I'm kidding.
Honestly,
I'm kidding. No.
Early March, late February at the best.
Well, thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for
tuning in.
Coming back. We'll be back with another one at another time.
Yep. Goodbye.
Have a good one.
Goodbye.
We don't really have a sign off yet, but
thank you for watching.
They're not watching anything. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Bye.